Hello everyone, welcome to day 3 of Salesforce Admin Certification Series. Here is a little bit about me. I'm Arpit Vijayavargia. I'm a Salesforce Technical Specialist at Techmetrics Consulting. I'm a group leader of Salesforce Architect Group Azmer, also co-founder of Blazor Certification, where we have helped around 1,000 of Salesforce trailblazers to get their Salesforce Admin Certification. I'm thankful to our host today, Mr. Amit Chaudhary. He is Salesforce MVP and organizer of Apex HAR. So today, in our agenda, we will be covering Object Manager and Lightning App Builder, which has a weightage of around 20% in Salesforce admin exam. In this particular topic, we'll cover some subtopics, which includes object setup, custom fields, record type, page layout assignment, lightning pages, and business process. Okay. So next is let's talk about object setup. So there are two type of object available in Salesforce. One is standard object, another is custom object. So standard object is these objects are predefined and available in Salesforce by default, and custom object which are created by system admin as per our need. So when we need to create a custom object, so when we find that data we want to store doesn't fit in any standard object available in our org, okay, then we usually go for the custom object. Otherwise, wherever possible, we always try to utilize the standard objects. Okay. Now we'll see, I will walk you through with some standard objects also, and I'll walk you through like how we can create a custom object. Okay. So before we before we move into the Salesforce, okay. So let me show you how we can create a custom object and how what kind of standard objects are available in Salesforce. Okay. So if we talk about the standard object in Salesforce, then we have accounts, contacts, okay, leads, opportunities, and many others are here. Okay, so the difference you will see in standard object, uh, it's the name is directly defined. Okay, and in the custom object, we'll see there is underscore C will be appended to the name of any custom object. So every standard object come with some standard fields also. So if I click on the new button, we can see like it has certain fields which can be utilized to store some data. Like name can be stored for the contact, email, mobile, phone, title, address, mailing address, other address. Okay, these things we can store into the object also. So this object can be used for several scenarios, several items, several scenarios. Like if you want to store a employees data, you can utilize it. Okay, if you want to store, if you are in a education industry, you are implementing Salesforce for education industry. If you want to store data for teachers, students, you can utilize it. If you are implementing it for um, health industry, then you can utilize it to store the data of patients, doctors, like that. Okay. Now, how, how we can create a custom object? Okay. So I'm taking an example of creating a custom object for employee itself. Okay. Definitely we can use this contact object also, but we will go through and see how we can create a custom object if you want to store employees data. So I will click on the setup button, click on the object manager, we'll click on this and I will click on this custom object. I would need to give a name. Okay, so let's suppose I'm giving it employee. Okay, the employee name. So I'm keeping it as a text only. There are few options available. Like if you want to utilize reports on this particular object? If yes, we can enable it. Similarly, for allow activities, track field histories, allow initiator groups. Okay. Now, if we want to add a notes and attachment related list to default page view, then we will check it. Else we can leave it. So I'm leaving it blank. Okay. And I'm clicking on this launch new custom tab wizard. So we'll see how we can create a object also and a tab also for that particular object. Okay. So I'll just randomly select any style. Okay. Moving forward, these are the profiles, and it's in a basically setting like on which profile I want to make the tab visible. So currently it's default on for every profile. So let's keep it as it is. These are the names of apps available in my org, and it's mentioning like in which org you want to add this particular app. So I'm removing all of these. Like I do not want to add this tab on any of the object and any of the app. So clicking on the save button. Okay. See now if you see, I have this object created, and automatically underscore c is appended into this name. So I can show you this into the URL also. So if I click here and I search for employee, okay, employees, you see, okay, there is a underscore c is appended. Okay. Now, so currently if we go into the fields, there is only one field is available. Okay. Now, similarly, if I want to store another details of employee also, let's suppose I want to store the skills also, then I can create a different object of skill also. Okay, and I'm leaving it as it is. I create this. Okay, I'm randomly selecting any icon as of now. I'm going on the next screen, not adding it on any tab, and saved it. So if I go and search for skills, okay, this is the object which I created, and you can see underscore c is also there. Okay, so if I want to store the data of employee, I'll simply go here. I will click on here, and I will put the name of employee. Okay, and if I want to track the skills of employees, then I will simply go and I will put a skill like LWC. See, I was able to put the LWC into the system, but I was not able to make any relationship between both of these objects, or like I am not able to define like RPIC has a skill of LWC or not. That I was not able to define here. So how we, like if you want to define these kind of relationship between objects, then in Salesforce we have relationships are also available. So what kind of relationships are available in Salesforce? Let's see. So moving back to slides. Okay. So relationship between objects is available in Salesforce. So to link the objects with each other, we can create relationship between objects. And it's become easy to see data and reports when we have good relationship between objects. Okay. Example is like contact and case. Apart from it, like the example we were seeing, like employee and skills. So if you want to see uh, skills of each employee, so if you want to report on the data, like which employee has which skills, then definitely we need a relationship between both of these objects. So normally we call this relationship as a parent-child. Okay. So there are types of relationship available in Salesforce. So first is master detail relationship. Okay. So in master detail relationship, so it's tightly coupled between both of object, and we have direct dependency on another object. Parent object in this relationship is known as master, and child object known as a detail. Okay. Standard object cannot be on the detail side. So if you are going to create a master detail on any standard object, it will not allow you to create a master detail of master object on top of any standard object. So a standard object basically cannot be on the detail side of any master detail relationship. They will always be on master side. Okay. If an object already has some data, then you cannot create a master detail relationship on it. So if you want to create a master detail relationship, if the object has data, then what you need to do? The first thing, either you need to delete all the data, then you create a master detail relationship. If that is not possible, then create a lookup field, populate value in all the records in that particular lookup field. Then you convert that lookup field into master detail. Okay. If you delete a master report, then the detail reports will also be deleted in case of master detail relationship. The owner field is not available for detail side object. Owner of master object will always be treated as a owner of detail side object also. On on a particular object on the detail side, we can have only two master detail relationships. The advantage of roll-up summary fields also can be utilized only when we have master relationship. Okay. Second is the lookup relationship. So it's basically loosely coupled and doesn't have any direct dependency on other object. Okay. So what happen in the detail side, like in master detail? So if you are going to create a child object, definitely it would be required to have the master object or the parent object. But this is not required into the lookup relationship. Whenever we are creating a lookup relationship, it's not necessary to put value into parent field. Okay. The deletion of parent record does not delete the child record by default. Okay. In MDR, like in master detail relationship, it used to delete the child record also. Custom and standard object both can be on the child side. Vice versa, in master detail relationship, the parents like the master, sorry, the standard objects could not be set on the detail side. In lookup relationship, there is no advantage of roll-up summary fields. Okay, and we can have up to 40 lookup fields in an object. If we are having two master detail relationship, then we can create 38 lookup relationships only. The another thing is many to many junctions. So in many to many, like the child object can have multiple parents. Okay, or a parent will have multiple childs. Okay, so if we talk about our example, okay, we were able to create a employee and a skill. Okay, but we were not able to make any relationship between both of them. So what we can do, we could directly create a lookup or master detail on a skill object all directly, where employee can be parent and skill can be child. But in that case, what will happen? Like we would have to repeat that skills again and again. Like if five employee or 10 employees are having LWC as a skills, so we need to create 10 record of LWC. Okay. So instead of that, what we do, we create a many-to-many relationship, and in this we will see how we can create a lookup and how we can create a mass detail both. So for this example, we will create one master detail relationship and one is a uh, lookup relationship. Okay. So let's go into the Salesforce first. Okay. So I'm creating another object now, custom object. I'll put it as an employee skill. and I'm giving it as an auto number. Okay, it's a format of auto number basically, and this is from where the number will be starting. I'm allowing reports, track field stream like that. Okay, and the tab also I'm mentioning. Okay, I'm just randomly selecting any of icon. I'm leaving it as it is. I'm removing this. I do not want to edit on any of the app. Now we'll create relationship. So let's see how we can create. So I'm going into the field and relationship. I click here. See, I have option of master detail relationship. I'm clicking here. Okay. I will select employee because without employee we cannot have any employee skills, right? So this is next. Okay. I'm leaving all the things as it is. Okay. I'm not clicking on any of the things. So I'll show you like how this works by default. Okay. Next and 7 new because I need to create a different object also. Sorry, different fields. This is lookup relationship. Okay. Now I'll create skill. Okay. Next. Okay. And I'm leaving it as it is. And save. Now I want to create a record of like let me create another skill also. So LWC was one. Then I will create an Apex also. Okay. Now I'm going on employee skill. It seems it will take some time to load. So now let's search for employee skill. This is employee skills. If I'm creating a record, so you can see that employee is required, but skill is not required. Okay. So I'm searching for LWC. So if we search for LWC, it's visible now. Okay, this is LWC, and if you see Arpit, so the difference between the lookup and master detail was like for master detail it was by default required, and for lookup it was not required. Let me save it again. Okay, now I'm again creating another skill for Arpit, which is Apex. Okay, and I'm creating it Apex. Okay, now we could see there are two records are available. Okay, if we see two records are available. Now what I'm doing, I'll be deleting one of a skill. I went here, I'm deleting LWC. Okay. Now let's check on all employee skills. We see like LWC is still there. I have deleted it, but it's removed from a skill value. Okay. Means if I open the 002, Apex is already there. Okay. Now let's see what happens when I delete this employee. Okay. When I delete this employee, now let's see what happened to this skill. Okay. Now you could see both the records are deleted. So in master detail, like the dependency is direct. If we delete the parent, the child will be deleted. Without parent, we cannot create the child. Okay. Now, moving back to the slides to see some more detail about the fields. Okay. So we could see we created two fields. One is master detail and another is lookup. But we, you may have noticed like in employee field, we were just storing the employee name. But what if we want to store more data? Okay. So Salesforce provides us some out of the box fields available in Salesforce for various kind of data. So these fields we can utilize to store data in Salesforce objects. Okay. So let's talk about the fields. So fields are basically attributes for an object, like what are the details, what are the additional information we want to store for each record on object. We can create fields accordingly. Every object has some predefined fields, and these fields are known as an standard field, like name. So name can be text type or auto number. So if you notice, like in employee, we created name as a text field. In skills, also we created it as a text field, but in employee skills, we created it as a auto number. Some other fields like created date, last modified date, owner, created by, last modified by, and the ID also. These are the some fields which are predefined available. System admins can create the fields for standard and custom object both as per the requirement. So these fields are known as a custom fields. The difference, if we see between the standard object, standard fields and custom field, so it will be again into the name. Like in standard fields, the name will be in a normal format, like as it is the name. But in custom fields, underscore C will be appended into the field name. Basically, it will be appended into the API name. Let's talk about the type of fields available in Salesforce in a little bit detailed manner. So we are talking here about some key fields which you will be using on a frequently basis in your implementations also, and you will see some questions about these fields in Salesforce exam also. Okay. So the first one is auto number. So it automatically assign a unique number to each record. And if we delete any record, then the number will not be reset. So let's suppose in employee skill, the name was auto number. Okay. So by default, it was 001, then 002. Recently, we deleted two records. But if we again go and create a new record, then it will not start again from the 001. Basically, it will start from 003. Okay. So what are the use cases of this auto number field? So let's suppose you want to store a unique ID for each number. Okay, like it. Let's suppose you want to assign an ID number to each employee. Then you can create a employee ID as an auto number. So it will be in an automatically incremental manner. So when you create the first employee, then it will be 001. If the static number is 1, then it will be again 002, 003, like that. It will be getting increased. Okay. Next one is checkbox. So when we want to store data like true and false, okay, then we use the checkbox. Okay. And if you're using data import wizard and data export tool, then instead of true false, in our CSV files, we use 1 or 0. So 1 represent the true and 0 represent the false. Okay. The next type of field is currency. So whenever we want to store the currency type of value, then we create a currency type of field, and it supports the decimal values also. So for example, if you want to store the price, okay, like if you want to store the price or the salary of employee like that, then we use currency fields. If you want to store any kind of date, then we store the date. We can create a date type field. For example, if you want to store the like joining date, birth date, the start date, end date, like that, then we utilize date kind of field. And whenever we have a that type of field, so when we try to enter some data into that field, uh, calendar will automatically pop up on the detail page. Okay, date time. So if you want to store date and time both, Okay, then we can create that time field also. And if you want to store time separately, then we have a time field also in Salesforce. Okay, if you want to store the email, okay, then definitely we have a email kind of field also, where we can we can we can choose this data type in while creating the custom fields, and we can put the email kind of value into that. So maximum character limit of this particular field is 80 characters. Okay, formula fields. So the formula fields are very special kind of fields. These fields like are always read only. You cannot put any value into it while creating a report or while updating the records. Okay. These record like the value of these fields is always calculated at runtime. So runtime means like if you had put your formula field on any detail page. So whenever you are loading the detail page, the value will be calculated at that runtime. If you are putting that formula field into a report, so whenever you are running that report, then only the value will be calculated into that. In formula field, you can access the parent report fields also. So if you are on contact object, okay, and you are creating a formula field there, so you can access some values from parent like account also. So and if on the contact object, if you want to display the industry of that particular account, then you can utilize the formula field. You can create a formula field, fetch the value from the parent field and display onto the child record. But you cannot access the child reports. Okay, you cannot access the fields from the child record. So if you are trying to create a formula field on account, then you cannot get the fields from child object like contact. Okay. Lookup and master detail, we already have discussed a lot about it. Okay. Next is number. So whenever you want to store some numeric values, then we create number type of fields, and decimal is also allowed, and the maximum length of a number field is 18 digit. Okay. So 18 digit including the decimals also. So if you want to store the decimals also, then non like the the length of non-decimal values can be 16, and if you want to store two value up to two decimal, then the decimal will be 2, and you can manage it like 17 1, 15 3, 14 4, like that, because it depends on us like how many how many digits we want to store after the decimal. Percentage. So whenever you are trying to store any percentage kind of value, then we can utilize the percent field. Okay, so what happens like whenever we put any value, so percentage sign will automatically append into the value we put into percent field. Okay, for example, if we are maintaining any discount, okay, last semester percentage, okay, so then we can create the percent type of field. Now we have phone kind of field also. So whenever we want to store any information like phone number, mobile number, then we can use the phone kind of field, and the maximum character limit is 40 characters here. If you want to choose some value from predefined list, and that the value you want to choose can be single value or multiple values, then we can use pick list. So basically two type of pick lists are available. One is normal pick list and another is multi-select pick list. So difference between both of them, like in a pick list you will be able to select one value at a time, and in multi-select pick list you can select multiple values. So whenever you are selecting multiple, like when you are creating multi-select pick list, then the selected values are displayed as in a semicolon separated. Roll up summary. So when we have master detail relationship, then only we can create roll up summary fields, and it has some some predefined methods that can be utilized. So like minimum, maximum, average, count, sum, like that. Okay. These are the four or five methods which only can be utilized to roll up the data onto the parent side. Text. So if you want to store the text kind of values, then we have multiple options like text is there, text area long, this text area, and encrypted text. So these has different features are also like in text, you can store up to 255 characters. In text area, the size length will be increased. In text area, long the size will be more increase. In this text area, like you can format the data you want to store. Like if you want to do if you're if you're putting a long paragraph, you can do some formatting styling. Like you can put some text into the bold, some into the italic, like that. Encrypted text, so it helps you to store some sensitive data. So whenever you put some data into encrypted text, the data will be hidden on the detail page, and only the user which has view encrypted data permission on the profile level, they only can see this data basically. So for like if you want to store credit card information into the Salesforce, you want to store CVV information like that. Definitely it depends on the compliance in your project, you want to store it or not. But just for an example, if you're storing credit card numbers, then you will make like you want to make sure like this credit card information should not be visible to every user. It should be visible to some specific users only. Then in that case, you would put an encrypted text kind of field. User will be able to enter the data. Then it will be automatically masked, and only the user who have view encrypted data field permission, he will only be able to see the data into this encrypted text field. If you want to store the any kind of URL, like if you are storing employee data and employee has some blogs, he has some YouTube channels, you want to store the information of these, then you can create a URL kind of field also. Okay. So let's see in action like how we can create these kind of fields. So let's go into the employee field. Okay. And employee object, and let's create some of these there. Okay. So I'm here on the employee. Okay. And I'm going on the field and relationship. Okay, this is basically different employee object. It's not which we created. This is the one which we created. Difference is employee underscore C. Okay, I'm creating a new here. So I want to store the mobile number of employee. So I create choose like the phone kind of field. Okay, I click on the next. I'm making sure like every profile should have visibility to it. I click on the save and new. Okay, now like I want to store a employee ID. So I choose an photo number, employee ID. The format will be E underscore okay 001. Okay, it's starting from let's suppose 100. Okay, I'll click on the save. So next, and I'm doing it. Save. Okay. Now let's suppose I am want to store the salary of employee. Then I'm choosing currency. See, we have length, the decimal places. So if I put 2 here, okay, 18 is here, then I need to put 16 here. Okay, because we need to maintain the rest of total sum of 18. Okay, so I put next. Okay. Let me show you one example of roll-up summary also. So you can see roll-up summary is there. I click on the next. Count of skills. Okay, I'm clicking on the next. So I'm choosing count by sorry. The object is employee skill because this is the object which has master daily relationship with employee. I'm choosing the count. If I choose count, then I do not need to select any aggregate field. If I choose sum, okay, so like for me, I will have some date kind of field. For some, because I don't have any number kind of field on the employee skill, that's why I'm not able to select the sum field here. So I'm currently using the count. Okay, click on the next, visible, next, and save. Let me create a new employee now. So this is employee skill basically, and I was talking about employees. Okay, so let's create an employee. So we have some fields like employee name, phone, employee ID is read only, and salary also we have. So employee name is Abid, phone number is 90010112. Okay, now my salary is like the salary of this employee is yes, I save this record. So you can see employee ID is E100 and this is the salary and count of skill is 0. So if I try to add a skill here for employee, let's say he has knowledge of Apex. Okay, now you can see the count is increased to 1. That's how this roll-up summary works. Okay, so this was about how we can create objects, how we can maintain relationship between objects, how we can create the attributes into the object. But what what's next? If we want to change the fields, want to control this, the value is visible here. If I do not want to show this employee ID on or here, then how we can do it? What if like we want to like I was describing uh, we can use contact object for multiple purposes. We can store employee also there, teacher also there, and students also there, patients also there, doctors also there. So talk like let's suppose we are using contact object for health, like education industry. Then we have teachers, we have students both, and we want to store the data of both of them. And we know like contact object can be used because for the both of object, at least we'll be storing the names, mobile, phone, email, address like these. So at least for these objects, we do not need to create custom objects. Okay. But how we will distinguish between both of them, like which one is employee, which one is teacher, which one is student. So what we can do, the first thing, we can create a checkbox. Okay, like is student something like or is teacher something like, and if it is a teacher we'll check on like we will set true into that checkbox. Okay, that's one option. But maybe there are few information which you do not want to see for teachers. Okay, or there is some information which you do not want to show for the students. So whenever you are trying to create a student report, you want certain specific fields which you can utilize. Okay, and there are plenty of other fields you do not want to fill information into them. Same can happen for the teacher also. Okay, so how you can control it? Let's see into the slides first. Then we will move on the Salesforce screen again back. Okay, so we have two things. Like record types are there and page layouts are there. So the use of record type and page layout is the record type is basically used to distinguish between in a single the, the properties of one object into multiple sections or multiple perspectives. So and the page layout controls the fields on that particular detail screen or the new creative screen. Apart from it, a record type is used to control the values available into the pick list fields also. Okay. And how we can assign a record type and page layout. So basically, for every profile, we can assign a different page layout for same record type. Okay, so let's suppose we have one profile, two record types. Okay, so then profile one can have a different record, different page layout on the both of the record type, and can have a single record type also. We have multiple profiles, but single record type. Then both profiles can have same page layout also, or multiple page layout also. So in general use case, the purpose of creating record type and page layout is to distinguish between the page layouts also, the fields visible on the screens, or values available into the pick list. So usually we create a different record type and different page layout. Like for each record type, we'll have a page layout. That's not a hard coded rule, but it's part of practice, or like it allows us to create a scalable solution. Okay, so whenever, because the purpose of creating record type is to distinguish the records between the same object, and if like because the properties are different for both type of records, so there are majority of chances fields visible on the both of detail page will be different. If that's not the case in your use case, then do not create a custom custom uh, custom page layout or different page layout. Okay, so let's see this into the action. Okay, so let's come to object manager. We have contact. Okay, let's come to the record type. I'm creating a record type as a teacher. Okay, it's visible to all. I'm clicking on the next. The layout is like contact layout. As of now, the single layout is there. Okay, I'm clicking on the save and new because this layout we can change it later also. I will show how we can change it. I'm creating another record type also, which is student. Okay, and I'm making it available for all profiles. One record type can be only one record type can be default for each object into the profile level. So I click on the save only. Okay, I went onto the page layout. I'm creating two different page layouts. So one is teacher. Okay, I'll put some information here, like uh, name was already there, so I will put the address also. So mailing address I'm going to put here. Okay, for the teacher. I'm creating a student also. For a student page layout, I'm putting the birth date. Okay. Okay. Now we have this page layout assignment. Okay. I'm clicking on this edit assignment. Okay. Now you will see like the profiles are here and the report types are here. So I'm just making changes for system admin only. So for system admin, for a student report type, we will have this student page layout, and for teacher, we will have the teacher layout. The same can be applied like for all profiles can have the same layout like student layout for student layout for student record type and teacher layout for teacher record type. Okay, I'm clicking on the save button. Okay, now let's come and create a contact. I click here. It asks me like what I need to create. I need to create a teacher. Okay, so you could see the addresses here. So let's say I'm creating a teacher name as Arpit. Okay, now I'm again creating a teacher. Sorry, again creating a contact. Now I'm choosing a student. Now you see the birth date is here, not the mailing address. For a student, we'll select Abhishek. Okay, and this is date field. I mentioned like whenever we click on like whenever we try to put data into the date field, the calendar automatically pop up. Okay, Now I also mentioned like we can control the pick list value also. So let me show you how we can do. Okay, I'm going into the object manager and let's search for contact relationship. So are you able to see any pick list value, pick list field here? Lead source, right? Now let's come to the record type. What is the record type? This is record type, and I click on the student. Lead source is here. I'm clicking on the edit button. Okay, so a student, like, it can come from multiple things. So I'm just putting these two values. Okay, then let's go for a different record type, teacher. Okay, and I'm editing it, and teacher, like, I'm removing all other thing. I'm just putting the seminars here. Okay, so I will add this value, like this field on the both page layout. To a student, let's search for lead source. I'm putting it here. Okay, I just click on the quick save and I'll move to teacher. Okay, for teacher also, I will put lead source here. Okay, I clicked on the save button. I moved here. Let's click on the detailed screen. This is the student, right? We could see lead source. Let me refresh it. Could see two values are here. Okay, now let's look into the teacher. Click on the detail button, lead source. The different two values are here. Okay, so that's how we can control the drop down values of pick list field using the record type. Okay, now coming back to the slides, let's talk about lightning page. So what is a lightning page? How we can create? Okay, and how we can change the assignment of lightning page. Okay, so lightning page is very powerful feature of lightning app builder. Okay, so let me move to Salesforce again. Okay, you could see this is screen. So this is lightning page basically. And if you want to create a new lightning page, then click here. Okay, you can select lightning app builder. You can click on the new, and there are several options like you can create a which kind of like add page, home page, record page. Okay, so if you want to add a page into like that home screen, home kind of, then it will be home page. If you want to create an app page, wherever you put it anywhere into the app, then it will be app page. And record page. Record page is linked with any object of the record of the record of any object. Okay, so that's how we can create. Okay, let's say I'm selecting on level is like teacher. Okay, and like for contact I want to create. Okay, I click on the next. I can choose what kind of design I would prefer. Various options are available here. So if I see currently the teacher is like header is there, side one, like left hand side and right hand side. Okay, so this looks like this one, right? Not this one. Now I'm creating this straightforward one, header and one region. Okay, I clicked here. Okay, and I will put anything like I want to put the detail. Okay, so record detail will be here. Okay, there are multiple options are available. Okay, You can put as per your requirement. If I want to put a list view here, I can put a list view. Okay. So in list view, like I'm putting just all contact list view. Okay. I can put a related list also. I can put a report also, report chart. Okay. Depend on us, like what kind of components I want to put here. Okay. I will save it. Okay. So as soon as I save it for the first time, it asks me to activate. So when I activate a record type, sorry, the lightning page, I got three options. The first one, the org default. So what when I'm doing org default, so in my org, from anywhere I open this page, this contact record, I it will always open this page. Either I open a student record or teacher record. Okay, so it will by default open it. Okay, but that's I do not want to do right now. So now what I want to do, the next option is app default. So in Salesforce we can create a lightning apps where apps is a collection of navigation bars, tabs. Okay. So if you want to, like, sales app is there, service app is there. So if you want to assign this page at a app level, so whenever you are creating either a student or a teacher from that particular app, this page should open. Then you can utilize this feature. The next is, like, we can decide in which app for which record type and for which profile you want to define which typing page. Okay, so it gives you more flexibility. So I'm choosing this. So I'm selecting, like, for sales. I want to assign this page on the desktop and phone both. Record type is like I created this for teacher. So I'm creating and I'm just selecting system admin profile basically because I'm logging from that profile. That's why. So I can show you very quickly. Click on the save, was activated. So let's come. So I'm in the sales screen. This is a teacher record. I just refresh the screen. It's the magic. The details are changed. Okay. I'm in the sales app itself, but I am clicking on the Abhishek. I'm not able to see the same page. Let me change the app also. So instead of sales, I'm going into the marketing app. Okay. And in the marketing app, I'm again opening the contact and the same market. Okay. The page, the lightning page is different. That's how the magic of lightning pages works. Okay. Now what's next? Okay. So let's back to slides. Okay. Now the business processes are there. So business processes, basically we have these three type of business process available in Salesforce. So one is sales process, lead process, and support process. So these process are basically aligned with some business specific terms. So in sales process, like we usually use opportunity. So if you want to control the value of opportunity sales field, then we need to create a sales process, and only with the help of sales process we can utilize this. We can control the values of opportunity stage. We cannot do it directly via record types. Same happen with lead also. So if you want to control the value of lead status field, then we need to create the lead process. And same happen for support process also. So whenever you want to control the value of case status, then we need to create the support process. And once these business processes are created or is created, then we need to assign it with the record type also. So if you have created a sales process, okay, then you need to add the sales process with opportunity stage also. Okay. Sorry, opportunity record type. So let's see how we can create a sales process and then how we can assign it to the record type and how this will control the value of opportunity stage. So we'll see only for the sales process, but this same process applicable for lead process and support process also. Let's come back to the sales process screen. I will go into the setup. I will search for sales process. I created here. So I'm giving it name of SMB, small medium business. So see, these are the values of opportunity stage. So when it's a small medium business, so like they are already like by default they are qualified for us. Okay. Or we do not do any negotiation with them also. So we are a big firm. Okay. Haha. So we are a big firm, then we just find the prospect, we do some analysis, we send a proposal. If they accept, then we mark it as a closed one or else closed. Okay. Now let's come on to the opportunity. So on the opportunity, let's move to the record type. Okay. Let me create a record type. Okay. Giving it a name of SMB only. Now we need to assign a sales process. So the same sales process I'm assigning it. Okay. Click on the save button and save it. Okay. So I click twice. So SMB is there. Let's see what kind of record type values we can control here. So you could see lead source only and type. Stage is not available, but stage is a pick list value. I can show you here. Okay, so you can see it's a pick list. So the pick stage there is the value of stage will be controlled via the business process only. So in opportunity, it was sales process. So let me go into the opportunity. Okay, and let me show you. So this time when I will click on the new button, it will not ask me to select any kind of record type. Why? Because we had created only one record type, and by default it's set as a default for all records. Okay, all profiles. So you could see like we don't have negotiation here. Okay, the values we put here, only these values are available here. That's how the sales process helps to control the values of this specific object and very specific fields only. So now let's move to slides. Okay, so what's next? So basically, we covered almost everything which is um, part of this exam outline for this particular topic, which is object manager and lightning and builder. So now it's time to twist your mind. Let's see how focused you were during this video and how much you were able to gain it. So I mentioned some questions, some scenarios here, and the source of these questions and these scenarios are like is trailhead, and with no guarantee, or we do not claim like these questions will occur into the exam or not. Okay. So the first question is ApexR. So ApexR has the following process regarding its opportunities. There are three different line of business. So one is SMB, large account, and banks. And each contains fields specific to that line of business, industry, and customers. Okay. So we need to and for each line of business, there is a specific set of fields that sales users should see, and a different set of fields that marketing users should see. As an administrator, like we need to configure page layout and record type for the opportunity object so that each team sees what it needs to see without any cluttered layout containing unnecessary fields. So as a system admin, what you will do to accomplish this goal. Okay. So we could see there are three line of businesses: SMB, large accounts, and banks. So and each has like different kind of fields. Okay. Then definitely they could like the way of handling both of these will be different. We may need to create a different record type, both of them, to control the value of a list. Okay, so we'll create three different record type. Now, the sales user and marketing user, they need to see the different fields for different line of business. So what we will do, for every line of business, for every record type, we will create a one record type for sales user and one record type for marketing user. Okay, because there are chances they can see the same fields also, or they can see the different fields also. So whenever a sales user is seeing the records of SMB, large account, they do not want to see certain fields that marketing user is able to see. Okay, so it's better to have a different page layouts for both of them for each record type. Okay, the next thing, uh, an administrator at ApexR has created a new Lightning report page for the sales team to display a report chart embedded onto the account page. So currently there is no record type exist for that particular account, for account object. So as a system admin, what action you will perform to make this page the default view of a UMS app for the sales team without impacting the support team? So what you will do, if you could see in the last step, we were having to choose a app also, the profile also. Okay. So what we will do, we will activate this page, or we will assign this lightning page in UMS app, and only for sales team profile will not select the support team profile. So that's how we can utilize, or you can utilize the lightning page features, and how we can accomplish our goal with this solution. So that was all about the day. Okay. Thank you so much for watching us today. Looking forward you in the next video. You can follow ApexR on on the Twitter at ApexR. You can follow the website. You can follow on the LinkedIn, and on the tweet on YouTube also. You can subscribe this channel. Thank you so much for joining us today. Looking forward you in the next video. Thank you so much.